All right, let's jump right into this. We're going to break down a really fascinating argument today. In a world that's just obsessed with the latest digital trend, why are some of the smartest enterprise marketers looking back to one of the oldest mediums out there? Yep, we're talking about radio, and how it's being framed as a kind of secret weapon for growth.
So let me start by asking you a question, one that's probably on the mind of a lot of marketers right now. You're pouring all this money into your digital campaigns, right? But are you really getting the same bang for your buck that you were, say, a few years ago? Because the data is starting to tell us that something is definitely shifted.
And here's the number that really sets the stage. 400%. That is how much digital ad costs have shot up in just 5 years. Your budget is getting absolutely hammered by rising costs, and at the same time, conversion rates are starting to go flat. Not a great combo.
This really just captures the feeling perfectly, doesn't it? Your message is drowning in an ocean of banner blindness and ad blockers. It's not just about the cost, you see, it's about effectiveness. You're trying to shout in a giant, noisy room where pretty much everyone has become an expert at tuning you out.
So what if the answer isn't some brand new, super complex digital platform? What if it's something that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time? This is where we pivot from the problem to a surprisingly modern solution.
And this right here lays out the core argument so well. On one side, you've got the digital world, just pure clutter, algorithms you can't control, and a constant battle for a split second of attention. But on the other side, you have undivided attention, a real, actual emotional connection. It's just a totally different kind of engagement.
Okay, so that's the theory. Sounds good, right? But does it actually hold up when you look at the data? Let's get into it, because the numbers here present a really compelling case for radio's advantages, especially right now.
Let's just start with pure reach, 92%. That is the percentage of the adult population that radio reaches every single week. That's more than any single digital platform can claim. We're talking massive scale, without having to guess what some algorithm is going to do next week.
Now, let's talk about efficiency. Let's talk about money. You know, spending a few bucks for a click on Google might reach one person. For that same budget, radio can reach thousands. In fact, what we're seeing is that enterprise clients are reporting a 40 to 60% lower cost per acquisition with radio. I mean, that is a huge difference.
And this is where that human element kicks in, and it is so powerful. Think about it. Radio hosts are often these trusted voices in their local communities. So an ad from them doesn't really feel like an ad. It feels like a personal recommendation from a friend. And that kind of trust, you just can't buy that with a banner ad.
Now, here's a really important point. This isn't about ditching your digital strategy. Not at all. It's about making it better, supercharging it. The data shows that when you combine radio with a digital campaign, you see this amazing lift across the board, like a 20% higher brand recall. The two channels just make each other stronger.
And the impact can be, well, immediate. We're talking about clients who see these huge spikes in web traffic, like up to 300% right after their ads go on the air. Phone inquiries can jump by 150%. Radio drives real, measurable action, and it does it really fast.
All right, those numbers are pretty impressive, but let's look at a real-world example to see how this all comes together. We're going to move from the data points to an actual case study, and we're also going to tackle the single biggest objection people always bring up about radio.
So check this out. There was this company, TechCorp. They targeted 3 major markets with a really smart radio campaign, and the result? They boosted their qualified leads by 280% in just 90 days. But here's the kicker. Their total media spend was 35% less than what they were spending before on their digital-only strategy. So, more leads for less money. Wow!
Okay, here it is, the big one. The question that always comes up. For decades, the big knock against radio was, you can't track the ROI. It's not precise like digital. But the question is that actually still true today?
And the answer to that is a hard no. Not anymore. Modern radio advertising now comes with this whole sophisticated suite of analytics tools. I'm talking precise demographics, attribution modeling that can connect a radio ad to a website visit, and even real-time optimization. These are capabilities designed to go head-to-head with any digital platform. So, when you put all these pieces together, it stops being a simple question of old media versus new media. It becomes a major strategic choice, one with very real consequences for your business and for your bottom line.
And this really lays out that choice clearly. If you go with a digital-only strategy, you are choosing to miss up to 40% of the total audio audience, just letting them go. And at the same time, your competitors who are using an integrated approach, they're acquiring those exact same customers for up to 60% less.
And get this, 73% of enterprise marketers still completely overlook radio. Now, you could look at that as a weakness, or you could see it for what it is, a massive window of opportunity. While literally everyone else is fighting it out in that same crowded digital space, there is a wide open lane right here for the taking.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In this constant, frantic search for the next big thing in marketing, what if the most powerful, most untapped advantage isn't something new at all? What if it's the one that's been broadcasting this whole time?